So you want to invest in Web3, but you don't know what tokens to buy? You can use SwissBorg's Thematics instead. They select a collection of the best performing Web3 tokens and rebalance them upon performance. So you don't need to worry about going all in on an absolute steaming turd. Sounds good to me. SwissBorg.
Hello everybody, good morning. So a little bit of a late start. I had a school run, epic school run this morning. So let's get straight into it then, shall we? So looking at Bitcoin first of all, shall we? On the 4-hourly, coming down to a 200 simple moving average, otherwise known as a golden cross retest. So this is a golden cross retest on simple moving averages. Exponentials would bring us down to 28,200. Give or take. Now, this last golden cross that we've had that took place around here on the 16th of March, so a little while back, hasn't been tested at all. So this would be the first time to see that happen. And again, you know, losing this area would be pretty devastating. Well, I say devastating. It would open up a can of worms, really. But for the moment, a retest of either here or here is pretty good. If we take it back to the daily, you can see the significance of the retest of the 200 simple moving average on the daily. That basically brought us up to this huge sort of last stage of this current rally. But focusing on the daily now, we did close below that Bollinger Band Center and the 21 exponential. So with that in mind, you can see already this morning we've come up to retest it. It's acted as a resistance, 29,100. So, you know, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. The higher term time frames like the daily, which I always favor most, has a 65% likelihood of remaining below 29,100, 65% more likely to stay in this portion of the band now that we're below it. But, you know, 65% isn't the greatest odds we've ever had, but it is odds against further upside above that area until it breaks, obviously. Now, it's not all is lost because we still do have the Ichimoku cloud trend in play, so this is still something that's absolutely 100% still in play, but they do cancel, obviously, and we get to know when this trend is finished. Currently, the trend is still in play because the cheeky span has not closed within the price action, and the conversion and the baseline haven't crossed either. So as far as the uptrend on the daily is concerned, it's still in play, and that's actually only in play from around about 26,500, not the entry point that we got around here or here. So it's still good to go. Still good to go. Now, some of these altcoins that, you know, I've been highlighting are doing okay. Actually, they're actually, you know, yeah, they're a little bit down from yesterday, but you know, they're still green and recovering quite well. This is with their Bitcoin pairs, so all is not lost when it comes to that rotation event. In fact, if anything, it's sort of emphasizing the point that these are just areas to potentially still rotate or hold on to those positions. So all is not lost. So let's have a think about the bigger picture. So we can see that the Dixie has continued with its downwards momentum. Bollinger Band Center retest rejection, retest rejection. Yesterday retest rejection. Today just so far being below it. The Euro obviously is the most important one that we look at, and we've reclaimed all major moving averages for the most part, not the 7 simple, but who cares about the 7 simple? We never really use it anyway, but it is below that, but above everything else. And now we've got the 10 exponential crossing above the horizontal significant area, so still favor further upside on that. As with gold had a pretty steep drop yesterday, and is below the 10 exponential above the 20, so we're still in the same sort of area as yesterday, thinking about, yeah, while being above the Bollinger Band, while being below the 10, but basically the price action still remains the same. You can see the candle body's been sandwiched between the two. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have any strong opinions on this. I mean, I'm all out of gold. I took my profits at 19 and 2000. So I would like to get in on this because I still feel as though there is a trend to continue on this one. I still feel that is the case, but it's not clear enough for me right now. The S&P 500 futures market still looking like a good chart in all fairness, down to the 10 exponential with a possible view to come down to the center of this Bollinger Band. Golden cross, all appropriate with the pump signal still in play as well. So further downside on this one is welcomed. And we'd be looking to try moves, any one of these moving averages, whether it's the 4090, we've got the 50 exponential down at 4050 and the 200 down at 4018, give or take, and that's just what it is today. You know, S&P is usually a lot slower than your average chart, so be patient on this one. And again, I'm not looking for big breakouts to new all-time highs. I've said this the entire time. The one thing that I've been close to being married to would be this being the bottom. I said it when it came in. Still believe that to be the case. Not looking for any dramatic drops. Just don't think that that is anything that's not a plausible thing. I know it sells clickbait titles. Oh, we're gonna drop to the look. As it stands right now, there's no fundamental reason as to why we would drop like that. There's nothing on the chart to say that we would drop like that. If anything, we're just going to zigzag around, and maybe we could double bottom a little bit further down the line this year, maybe. But other than that, there's no reason to suggest a giant catastrophic collapse unless something like a black swan happens. And obviously this chart, I can't see any black swans on this chart. I don't see any black swans really in the broader economy right now. So, you know, feel free to scare yourself or get excited about super massive big drops, but just not seeing it. So if we're not seeing it here, that's it. The only thing to be mildly concerned about would be talking about the Dixie and its general trend fizzling out at some point, maybe a little bit down below 100. But even then, we could still come down further to around 95-ish area, completing the channel that we're in, and maybe having a sizable bounce from there, as we did, you know, in January 2021. We scraped these lows, and that's where the dollar rallied. Who told you it was going to do that? Moi. I did say that. And who told you it was going to top out? Moi. I told you that too. I'm not just saying. It's got to be highlighted. Obviously, I've been told that I need to let people know about these major big swings that I get, because, you know, if no one's going to subscribe to my channel, they'd rather listen to hopium clickbait because it makes it feel good. That's fine. You know, you're selling emotions, but if you want to try and sell some form of reality, it's worthy of. I think it's worth me telling you, you know, what I've managed to call, and these are very important things that we see here. Big move up, big move down. This is huge. This impacts everything to a large extent. This is why it's been such a successful handful of trades, really. Even through the bear market, we were doing hundreds of %. So it's, you know, it's worth mentioning, because, you know, hopium's one thing, and selling, you know, good vibes and or interesting bullshit is good for some, but I think truth, it should actually be more valuable. So right, so other than that, back to Bitcoin. We'll finish off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin does have a very realistic possibility of moving down towards these lower zones, 28,500 again, and 28,200. Those areas are still by the dip areas. Try to long the dip areas, and again, they're quite clean, so it doesn't take long to know if you're wrong. If you try to take a position here, you can have a very tight stop loss. It wouldn't take long to know if you're wrong, as is this one. You could try it again here. It wouldn't take long to know if you're wrong. Try that position if you feel that that's something you want to do, because, like I say, these are quite tasty moving averages on a reasonable time period, that could actually end up bouncing all the way back up to previous local highs and beyond. It's realistic that would happen. It's absolutely plausible to see something like that, because we see it all the time anyway, and we've seen something like that recently on the daily. So I mean, like I say, it's up to you what you do with your trades, but I would be looking for something like that. We currently have some drives of bullish divergence on the 2 hour. Not that it's worth much, and obviously we're going to see that on the 1 hour too. But it's not much to write home about. It really isn't anything. So I would be focused, if anything, at the moment on today's charts, focused on the 4 hourly to see how we respond to these areas again, and trying to take positions here or here. And if they fail, then that's fine. We'll see where we go down to, and hunt out some more opportunities at a later date. Actually, you know, while you're still here, let's have a little look at the old Bitcoin dominance chart, because I know that was bouncing from the bottom of the range last time we looked on the live stream to see if we get a rejection. Yeah, we are. So we bounced. So we came down very. It's so neat. This little box here is so neat. Rejection from the top. 6 straight days of decline. Bounce from the bottom up to a Bollinger Band top, and now we're getting rejected from there. Currently, as it stands at the moment, below all major moving averages. And again, this isn't it's not normally the neatest chart, although we have managed to play it, you know, quite well, quite a few times. So we still would be favouring a bit further downside on this one. So if the market picks up, then altcoins likely to see some further upside. If you're on the right altcoins, obviously. It's not for me to highlight what's what and who's who, but, you know, for the most part, you know, the ones I'm in are apparently seem to be green today, so strength against Bitcoins. But I'm just saying, it is pot luck. It's not all the ones I'm in. Trust me, I'm in some absolute shockers at the moment, but it's not all bad. Right, so yeah, squeaky bum time, definitely. All eyes on the Bitcoin prize, definitely. But when we still look at traditional markets, Forex, all of that is still unchanged. So it might feel a bit devastating at the moment, but it's not actually. It's just that we try to trade a volatile asset class being crypto, and so things seem a lot more dramatic than they are actually in real life. Real life is telling us things aren't actually that bad at all, and that this is just a reasonable correction ready for continuation in the current direction to which they're all pointed in. It won't last forever, but I still think it's got the power to move Bitcoin back up to 32,000 and maybe a little further. Still think that that's on the cards. I have no reason to doubt that so far. But we would start to think about problems if we close below 28,000, definitely. We'd be moving back down to around 24 or so. But at the moment, that's not on the cards. It's definitely not on the cards. Not this very moment in time. This is why we focus on this 4-hourly for the rest of the day, maybe for the rest of the week. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.